So it's good morning, good afternoon to everyone. And we are recording and we are live from Washington, D.C. and from Dubai. Go
Which
ahead,
makes
Omid.
it a good morning to both of us, right?
Yes, good morning. 12:01 a.m. here.
9:01 in the morning, beautiful Dubai, sunny Dubai today, and yeah, it's great. We're so excited. Let's get started and talk about this program that we put together. I'm just gonna start real quick by introducing MENA Cloud Alliance, who we are, what our mission is, and why we thought we should do this. And then what I'm going to do, Kevin, is I'm going to take
Mhm.
the an interviewer role. I'm going to interview you somehow, even though you're one of the big brains behind the whole thing. So at Meta Cloud Alliance, we are the only not-for-profit industry association focused on cloud computing acceleration in the Middle East and North African region. So we cover 15 economies, and our mission is essentially, I always put it this way: we are in the business of creating trust in the market, and that's what we need. For more cloud adoption. Our founding members are some of the household names in the industry, and they all came together, even though they're big competitors, some of them, to really give the industry a unified voice, and that's what we do at MENA Cloud Alliance. Now, one of the things that we're committed to, and we've been trying so hard to play an active role in, is training and awareness, and that is a mandate for us. We believe that there is this need for awareness and training and bringing that workforce up to speed with the pace of technology and digital transformation. So we put together this program called Cloud Champion, and we really wanted to reach out to the best in the world. And that's why, even though you and I, Kevin, we've worked together for years now. What, 9 years now?
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a long time. I've learned a
yes.
lot from you.
Sir, I learned a lot, and I gotta say, we are so proud to have partnered with you and to have you and your vast experience behind this. So I'm gonna just stop, and I want you to just give us a little bit of background in terms of the things you've done. I mean, your breadth of experience is just phenomenal, sir. So let's just. I want the audiences to understand why we reached out to the best of the world, and why we partnered with Kevin L. Jackson to create one of the most encouraging programs in the cloud space. Go right ahead, Kevin.
Well, first of all, as a little bit of a background, I've been working in the cloud community probably since actually retired, or in high technology, business technology, since I retired from the military back in last century, back in the 90s. And I was actually did a lot of work. I was the worldwide sales executive for IBM, where we were using service-oriented architectures to try to leverage the then new internet on for business. I don't know if you remember when there was this big, competition, or if the internet should be used for business. I mean, that was so long ago, and it was sort of the early days of cloud at that time. We started leveraging service-oriented architectures and wireless servers for business, and then I had the opportunity to actually support the United States intelligence community as they were leveraging cloud computing for their mission. So when I was working there, we started looking at how to secure the cloud and for information in a global operating theater. And as I was doing that, a lot of commercial companies were starting to adopt cloud computing. And when I stopped working for the government, I started consulting with large companies on how to leverage cloud for their business models. Led me to actually write one of my books, which is actually going to be used for the course, Architecting Cloud Computing. And I actually was part of the team that developed the Certified Cloud Security Professional certification for ISC squared, which actually is part of the Cloud Champion curriculum. But we'll get talk about that later. And it was about that time I actually started working with Omid, and he was looking at how the region was really transitioning into leveraging cloud for economic reasons. And this came out of a study, the Cloud Competitive Index that MENA Cloud Alliance put together. And one of the key issues was actually employees actually learning and knowing about cloud computing, and executives actually understanding how to leverage cloud for their business. So, in some discussions, Omid felt that some type of training program would be a good companion to the existing road shows that MENA Cloud Alliance has been putting in all of the around the countries. And that basically was the genesis of the Cloud Champion program. So my role turned out to be basically the lead master instructor to help design the course, and then to identify other instructors as the program grows in order to teach people the not the we will help them learn the technical aspects of running and building a cloud, but also the business aspects of cloud. So their countries and the entire region uh, can actually become more competitive when it comes to cloud computing. So, as part of the course, we're actually using that textbook that I talked about, Architecting Cloud Computing, but we're also leveraging the cloud to teach cloud. And we have what's called a digital business app that's going to support all of the students that are starting on this journey of professional excellence around cloud computing. Um, does that good,
I,
Omid?
Absolutely, sir. I mean, I couldn't have put it any better myself. And listen, I love how you see this as a journey and
Mm-hmm.
not just because this is a marathon. All of us are on that journey and have been for quite some time. It's just I love it how when we talk about this, you never talk about destination. You go, this
Right.
is an ongoing thing, and we need to keep ourselves educated and updated all the time.
You know, one of
So
the things I think it's important is uh, the genesis of this is really helping the region. And many people may not be aware of the cloud competitive index and how important it is from an economic point of view. Maybe you should talk a little bit about that.
absolutely, Kevin. Listen, we are at this I would say it's a transition that the whole region is going through,
Mm,
and we have some of the most forward-looking, future-ready economies in this region. So one of the things that we do every year is we look into the 15 economies that we cover, and we try to
hmm
quantify cloud competitiveness in those economies. We started doing that back in 2017. We put together a methodology, and we worked with local intelligence, with folks, with stakeholders, with thought leaders in the region and around the globe to uh, to make that report even better. So what we actually just released, so the 2023 version of that. I'm just going to quickly share my screen here so you
Oh,
guys can
okay.
see. Um, let's let's take a look at this real quick. Um, all right. Oh, we got into the matrix again. All right. Um, so yeah, this is the Cloud Competitiveness Index 2023. So I encourage folks to go check that out. We're so proud of this work, and you don't have to go through everything uh, because it's a pretty comprehensive document. What you can use instead is our interactive tool that allows you to look into the region as a whole, look into specific economies, and even go ahead and make comparisons between the cloud competitiveness in those countries. Now, our methodology looks at regulation, talent, connectivity, government, and business as different pillars that comprise an economy's cloud competitiveness. And this year, the UAE came on top, followed by Israel, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, by the way, which is scoring pretty heavy numbers. And this is a very comprehensive tool, and our data points are usually readily available information. These are publicly available information. uh, part of part of the data comes from what we call Monaco intelligence, which is the
Hmm.
primary data that we gather around cloud regulation and what's happening in those economies. But we try to make it an unbiased sort of tool, and then you can actually go ahead and use the tool to compare economies where they stand. Let's just quickly look at the UAE for a second, because I would think a lot of our folks are coming from the UAE and Dubai at the moment, and you can see, uh, very strong numbers when it comes to regulatory quality, for instance, or connectivity,
Yes.
and see the infrastructure and the quality of the access that we got. And the strongest suit of the UAE is of course, unsurprisingly, the government, e-participation, cybersecurity, future orientation. Matter of fact, talk about cybersecurity. Saudi
Okay.
Arabia came in first, Kevin, on cybersecurity, not just in the region, but in the world. So it's one of
Wow.
the strongest economies out of 200 and something countries that was covered by ITU cybersecurity report. And so we can see the investment and the willingness that's been put into creating these ecosystems, right? And then we got, of course, talent, and that's where we thought, okay, when you look at these economies, when you look at the ambitions, look at these numbers: 8.95 on the government, 8.15, 7.56 out of 10. These are some of the most future ready governments anywhere in the world, really, with very ambitious plans to digitally transform themselves. So the question was, and it just dawned on us when we were analyzing
Hmm.
these data, that we've got very ambitious leadership, but how can this very talented, highly educated workforce live up to those massive expectations? There is a gap,
Right.
and
Right.
and we can't deny that. And we thought, as Men on Cloud Alliance, first thing we got to tap into is help that local intelligence, those folks who are actually going to make that digital transformation happen, right? So
Yeah, right, right.
that's where the idea came from. I mean, you look at different economies, you see the same thing. You see great e-participation numbers. I mean, look at Qatar. You get cybersecurity. You get, look at that, affordability in connectivity, cloud regulations. Talking about Qatar, for instance, there is a cloud first policy. There's a data protection law. There is everything. Matter of fact, Qatar was the first country in the region that introduced data protection law when nobody else actually had it. So these are looking into the future. Saudi Arabia, I mean, this is one of the highest scoring countries, by the way, this year, with massive numbers. Look at this, the cybersecurity that I talked about, 9.95, number one by far. Future orientation of the government. I mean, you got to just look into the massiveness of projects coming out of Saudi Arabia, and it's just it never ceases to surprise me. They are creating and inventing a new future. I mean, look at Neon Project. Look at what is being done in Saudi Arabia. Bahrain, again, another strong contender. But then we just looked at these numbers and went, how can we help realize these massive digital transformation ambitions?
I
Now,
think a lot of the governments have really put in, I mean, a lot of money into programs to make this happen.
absolutely massive investments, massive investments, and years in the making too, Kevin. I mean,
Hmm.
uh, these some of the and even as far as North Africa, when you look at Egypt, for instance, I mean,
Yeah.
look at the ambitious government. Look at the young, talented, educated population. Startups, very strong unicorns coming out of Egypt, left and right. It's just beautiful to see, and we thought we needed to play a role in that. In how can we ready that workforce to be able to meet the demand. Now, Kevin, I just want to talk a little bit about how we started off putting the program together, what we thought. I remember we had this conversation. Not just another cloud computing course. No, no, no,
Right,
sir.
right,
This
right.
is going to be different. Uh, can you just share with us? I mean, you've had amazing experiences putting together courses like this on a global scale, and you've been part of a lot of those conversations. I just want you to share with us how you thought the content should look like based on your successful experiences in the past.
Well, actually, one of the things that always bothered me when you get a certification is that it seems like there's an assumption that you could go and sit in a classroom and like it's like you need to just plug into whatever the instructor is saying, and you'll get a certification and they're like, go to the wolves and do whatever you're supposed to do. You're supposed to know it all immediately. um, and we're not like that. We're not computers yet. We don't have a little port that we can plug into in our brain. The other thing is that a lot of times you are going and try to get these cloud computing certifications, right? You may not even know what cloud computing is, or somebody, your boss may have walked in and said, okay, we got to do cloud, it's your responsibility, go get a certification, and you're supposed to know everything when you come back because you're probably the only person that had the formal training in education. And you may not even know how you're going to leverage cloud. You may not even have had that conversation because you don't know what to ask, or you don't have any experience in implementing or undergoing a digital transformation. So when we were talking about this, I felt that it was important, as we've said a couple of times. This is not just get a certification and a sheet of paper that you can put in a frame or something. This has to be something that you can use every day, something that can enable you to have a environment and a support system around you, so that if you had questions that you could ask somebody that maybe is an expert in that area, or you could uh, talk with colleagues who may have similar chances or similar issues, and you could talk through different solutions. Um, and as you work, you would get experience, and you would have to leverage your experience and maybe even leverage the experience of others as you become more professional in this area. So we decided to add to that some type of continuing professional education, so that as new things arrive, new things are discovered. And then, as you mentioned earlier, you need to talk a little bit about this Beyond Cloud project, which I think is awesome. Cloud computing is just sort of a foundation, and you can go into the cloud, but that doesn't really help you in your business. You have to leverage capabilities like e-commerce, which, yes, it's built on top of cloud. There's a lot of other things that you need, like APIs, right, in order to interact with your customers. I'm sure you've all heard of artificial intelligence, and now they're putting artificial intelligence in our search engines like Edge and Google to help it give you the ability to really be get more information, broader view as you're doing your search. Things like robotic process engineering, where you want to use the capabilities of cloud to automate your business processes, right? Those are the things that companies and governments want to implement. These are the beyond cloud things, and there's more in the pipeline and coming down. So the question was, how do we make this something that's continuous, something that's actionable, but also something that's convenient to you, so that whenever you have an issue or whenever you want to learn about something, or whenever you wanted to reach out to a colleague that knows the Middle East region, or may have the exact same challenges that you have, that you can actually connect with them. So we were saying, how should we do that? Use the cloud. So we actually created an app on the cloud that we call a digital business, that enables uh, that it becomes that resource. Let me show that to you. I think I can share my screen.
Let's do that. Yeah,
Uh,
it's
okay.
a beautiful
Uh, so, and in fact, I think what's really important about this is that we inserted this app as a component of the course. All right. So you can see here we have a cloud champion certification, where we're going to have reference materials for the specific course, different aspects of the course, not just the technology, but things like how to acquire or contract for cloud uh, in the Middle East region, uh, information about different providers, points of contact for different beyond cloud capabilities across the region. And all of this is part of digital transformation. This is one of the other texts that I actually wrote this book on digital transformation, and we put into this a mini course on digital transformation, where you can learn like how do you actually set your vision for digital transformation. What are the foundations for hybrid cloud? And we have this guy here. Can you can talk to him how to implement hybrid cloud strategy, right? So uh, and use cases and examples that you can actually use uh, to help you as you provide value to your organization. Uh, and as you can see, we actually provide continuous professional education. And since this is a journey, as part of the program, the professionals have to have at least 12 points of continuous professional education every year in order to remain current as a cloud champion. So in the app, we actually provide that continuous education. Talk about things like big data analytics. What do you need? What type of architecture do you have to put in place? Uh, Blockchain. Everybody talks about blockchain, but here you actually learn how to apply blockchain to your business. Um, we actually talk about different business models. So this is in your hip pocket. How do you segment your customers, right? Um, and so, what type of infrastructure? We always talk about um, composable infrastructure and how to use, how to leverage continuous development and continuous uh, uh, deployment in order to support your business. We actually talk about 5G networks and how the compute, I like to say, is has been freed from the data center and it's now in the networks, these new 5G networks. That's part of the infrastructure that many countries around the world are deploying. I mean, we're in the midst of a global deployment of 5G everywhere, and that changes everything. Uh, so here in this app, you can we actually have a community for the Middle East and North Africa, and the app community today uh, has about 4,000 4,000 members
Wow.
um, that you can interact with, and we're going to be growing this community as we support the Cloud Champion program. But look, this is a community that you have access to help you in your journey. And we're going to have a specific Manaka uh, uh, channel, and not just Manaka. We will have channels for each of the Manaka countries that we support, so that you can identify individuals in your country, in not just in the region, but in your country that can help you. And on top of that, we are also providing an ability for you to actually track the activities and record the continuous professional education that you get. Two of the other certifications we're going to offer from ISC Squared is the Certified Cloud Security Professional, CCSP, and the Certified Information Security Professionals, CISSP. And both of those, along with the Cloud Champion, require a minimum number of related continuing professional education points. So we're actually in this app, we give you the ability to actually track what you are doing and use that and submit it in order to, once again, stay relevant because new things happen every day when it comes to business, technology, and especially cloud computing. So this is sort of what we came up with for having that in your hip pocket, and we also have a personal coaching capability so that let's say you have this hard issue or you have to answer questions and you want to talk to an expert. I'm making myself available to all of the cloud champions to get coaching through your journey uh, to become or maintain your professionalism as a cloud champion. And I
And
think
I
this
just
is a
just
game
say something,
changer.
Kevin. I mean, this whole personal coaching aspect of this whole we're not leaving you alone. We're there for you. And I speak from experience, folks. Once you reach out to Kevin, those coaching sessions, they could actually end up really just another cloud champion course. Jesus. I mean, the wealth of experience Kevin shares with us is just phenomenal. And what I really love about about the app and the community behind the app is, you know, we're not leaving you alone. We're there. And one of the very early conversations we had, Kevin, on putting
Hmm.
together a cloud champion program and not being just another cloud course was, listen, cloud today is not what it used to be, and cloud tomorrow is not going to be this cloud today because
Yes, it's a
it's
change.
just transforming itself. So we are now talking about, what I call new cloud, which
Mm.
is essentially talking about how cloud concepts and applicability of cloud computing and cloud related technologies is reinventing itself every day. Cloud ops, edge, things that you talked about, the convergence of all these technologies. How do we go beyond just a buzzword in the industry? How does that bring value to my organization and in turn to my country? How can I leverage these things, not just dropping those technology names or applying a solution and then look for a problem? How do they actually solve my problem or create new opportunities? And that's why when we created this, the first part of the course is is about cloud computing, but it is about the new cloud. And I love how you always, Kevin, talk about this new cloud is is nothing but digital transformation, right? I mean,
Yeah, the thing
it's
about it, yeah, the thing about it is that today change is constant and it's accelerating. I mean, and you have to stay up with it. You just talk about continuous education, always learning. If you're not always learning in this business, then you're falling behind. So that's why I think this whole program, this Beyond Cloud program that the MENA Cloud Alliance is putting together, is just so amazing.
let's talk a little bit about the structure, Kevin. What
Okay.
what what is what the experience would look like for folks who come? What do they see? Where are the parts different? We actually structured it in three uh, distinct sections. One is when we talk about the new cloud or cloud computing a little bit, but also the new developments and recent technological advancements based and built on top of cloud. But then we have this whole other section that we would like to call beyond cloud section of the course. And that's when you learn how to really put your cloud infrastructure to work. What is
Yeah.
it that the cloud can actually make possible and enable? Because in many organizations, there is some sort of a cloud foundation, whether they're using a hybrid cloud or multi-cloud or certain workloads on the cloud, or if they're run entirely on the cloud. We have those instances even within government agencies. Uh, but then, how can you unlock new opportunities putting your existing cloud infrastructure to work? And that is, to me, that's such an interesting part of the program. And then the third part, of course, is where we have a guest uh, from one of the big vendors in the community to give you actual use cases in your geography where technology is being leveraged and is solving problems and creating opportunities that you need to know about, and you can do yourself within your as a cloud champion within your organization. There's also a Q&A, which I love about the course. Can you tell us about the Q&A a little bit, Kevin, which follows, if you're in the room, by the way?
Yeah. So one of the things I really like about the way you've structured this, I mean, Omid, you have the broadest, strongest network uh, of anyone in the Middle East and North African region when it comes to leveraging this technology, cloud computing, and all the other capabilities for to enhance the region and to help governments specifically uh, be better servants and to deliver better services to their constituents. I mean, the companies that you work with, like AWS and Microsoft, and some of the local companies, uh, you have the ability to reach out to those experts and bring them into the program so they can give keynotes on what's critical for the region or for that specific country. So our cloud champions can, I don't know if this translates to the Middle East, but they can hear it from the horse's mouth with respect to
Yes,
the
yes.
questions.
We need to say camel's mouth or something,
The
but
cam.
yeah, that's probably it. But hey, listen. I mean, we've seen amazing developments. I give you an example. At this point, just one example is uh, Qatar has
Hmm.
made amazing progress uh, in terms of migrating to the cloud. Now, 50% of government agencies have now been migrated to the cloud and are actually leveraging cloud for their workloads. We see this a similar story from Bahrain, which I love, and they've also done that. And these are amazing use cases of government agencies and highly regulated verticals in those industries and economies that are in fact leveraging the cloud as it should be. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's amazing to have those folks share their experiences, and we really wanted this to be a locally flavored, locally applicable course for our cloud champions, because we don't want just theory. As you can imagine, this is mostly about practicality and the use cases in the region. Now, I just want
Yeah,
to
what are some of the regional companies that are participating or members of Manaka? It's something that this is unique for any program. I think this Gulf region focus.
absolutely. Uh, Listen, when we started off, we just went to some of the biggest names, household multinational technology providers, and we said, folks, we need to sit at a table together and set our differences apart. We need to give the industry a unified voice. If you want to talk to policymakers, if you want this region, this country to prosper, we need to come together, even if we are competitors, especially if we're competitors, because there
Hmm.
are mutual problems and issues that we can all focus on. It wasn't just the big multinationals, it was also local companies, and these are, I'll give you an example. Etisalat is one of the most innovative. It's one of the biggest brands. So telcos got into the game and are now enabling cloud technologies. There is a great deal of partnerships that are happening on a daily basis. Such a vibrant cloud and technology space we're witnessing in the region. So we're really proud of the community that we built behind MENA Cloud Alliance,
You
which
should, yeah, you should also talk a bit about the work you're doing with the chambers of commerce, right?
oh,
Especially in
absolutely.
Dubai.
Oh, listen, this is one of the things that really sets the UAE apart. Uh, I'd like to talk about the cloud computing business group that has been established by Dubai Chambers to create a direct line of communication with the leadership here in Dubai and in the UAE, because they really wanted the industry to come together and really voice their issues. They are now encouraged to talk about the problems, the adoption problems, the demand problems, the regulatory issues that are not really unique to this part of the world. We're
Hmm.
still, facing a lot of regulatory issues around the world when it comes to cloud and emerging technologies in general. But I think it's very inspiring to see that the UAE government and Dubai in particular is not only reaching out to the private sector and all the cloud players and the ecosystem as a whole, but actually bringing them into the government house
Yeah.
and actually convey the message to the leadership. So that is a beautiful thing. A lot of our members are engaged in that, and I encourage folks who have a vested interest in Dubai cloud computing ecosystem to reach out to me or to Dubai Chambers and be a part of that. But I also want to talk about one of the things that we got planned in terms of the events around the region. We do that
Hmm.
on a yearly basis. There are two different projects that we run. One is our cloud computing roadshow. We've done that in multiple economies around the region: Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Jordan, Egypt. So we've done those road shows where we connected with the local intelligence, with government entities there, with the decision makers and policy makers, and we've always been welcomed by the leadership in those economies, because we see the need and the will to digitally transform economies in the region, and those ambitious plans. We also, this year, for the first time, we have designed this in-person, actual physical, one-day events called
In
Beyond
real life.
in real life, where you can actually talk to a person for a change. Grab a cup of coffee, not an online coffee. Oh my God, don't we all miss that? Anyway,
Yes.
so we're doing Beyond Cloud in the UAE and in Egypt this year. You can go to our website, menacloud.org, and look at our events and participate, because we have made Cloud Champion program as an integral part of those events. You can see different tracks there, and you can, of course, see how the program will be run. And by the way, if you join those events, you can enjoy a little bit of discount on the course. You really that's one of the perks of being a part of the community, right? So
Yeah.
I'm so excited about those events, and Kevin, I'm sure you are too.
Oh no, what over the years, the MENA Cloud Alliance is really becoming your vision. I mean, maybe it has become your vision as this conduit between business and government in order to enhance and advance the economy across the entire region. I mean, when I first heard of Saudi Arabia and Nome City, I mean, that is amazing. And how could they even design, build, and operate that linear city? It's all because of the advances built on top of cloud, right? All of these are, much of it is built on and driven by e-business, e-business models, all right? Wireless technology in order to enhance interaction amongst the population and businesses and with government. So and I know you just came back from a large event there in Saudi Arabia where
Oh
the
my,
vision was something else.
it was out of this world, man, out of this world. What's happening, and I think this is such a healthy competition in the
Hmm.
region, where you can see uh, these economies becoming role models for the rest of the world, and really demonstrating that no matter how big your vision is, it is still doable, and you can
Yes.
realize that if you got the strong will and the support of the business community, specifically from the technology community. And what always fascinates me, Kevin, is uh, if governments could establish a better relationship with the business community,
Yeah.
we would have arrived at a lot of these developments a lot sooner. It's nobody's fault. You know, we from the business community, we got issues. We just want to utilize the technology. We just want to enable, citizens and the economy through our technological platforms. But at the same time, we need to understand that the leadership in these countries
Hmm.
are really concerned with a lot of legitimate issues because they have this responsibility towards their citizens. So this there's got to be a mechanism through which the business community consistently socializes with policymakers and decision makers, and we have some of the top-notch, forward-looking, tech-savvy policymakers, in the region, which is making it a lot
Yeah.
easier. I mean, we have an AI ministry here in the UAE, one of the first in the
Right.
world anywhere.
Talk about forward leaning when it comes to digital transformation. Um, in fact, one of the things I want to offer to everyone on that's viewing us, either now and live or in the replay, I actually developed an ebook on digital transformation and talks about some of the best practices for managing change, what how you need to lead transformation. It's actually called leading change. This is one of the most important skills that all of our cloud champions will have to master. So, just as a little bit of a tease, here's a link to a free ebook on leading change, and that will give you a little flavor of what you would gain professionally from participating in this cloud champion journey.
Kev, you and I, we could just go on and on for hours talking about the program because we put our hearts and souls into this, and we
Yes.
believe that this is really a change maker, and we're very proud of our certified cloud champions, and we'll be working with them. There are also other perks. I could do my little teaser over here a little bit. If you are a certified cloud champion, there are certain perks that go with it. We are in talks with some of the major cloud and technology events in the region. For you to be recognized as a certified cloud champion, for you to be able to have access to those events, to get discounts on workshops that are run in those events, you will have access to all MENA Cloud Alliance events as a certified cloud champion. You'll be invited to our roundtable. So there's a lot of perks, coming with the program. But above all that, you will be enabling the digital transformation journey within your organizations and ultimately within your country. So that's what we're very
Right.
proud of.
Yeah, one of the things just recently, I know that a major cloud service provider reached out to partner with the MENA Cloud Alliance on all these, and we actually have an opportunity to have uh, vendor certified certifications and training that you will be accessible directly through the digital business app as part of the cloud champion program. I think that is huge.
That's very big. We're in talks, and we know that we enjoy the support of some of the biggest names in the cloud space. Because see, I would say the vision that we have to enable digital transformation
Hmm.
uh, is shared by a lot of the global and local technology providers, because it's a win-win for everybody. When the cloud grows, when the adoption increases, everybody wins, and
Yes.
that's why we are working with a lot of the you know our partners in the region and around the globe to make this such an interesting, and this is just the beginning of this journey.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to have at least, I think at this point we are up to four iterations, Kevin, of the Cloud Champion program that you will have access to once you've been certified. At the first tier level, right?
Right, right, absolutely. And the first tier, as I said, is just the beginning. We have what's called the Cloud Champion Security, which you will get certified as a CCSP, Certified Cloud Security Professional. Uh, then the other tier is Cloud Champion uh, CIO, where you would get a certified information system security professional, CISSP certification, and if you get both of them, then you become a master cloud champion, and those are the people that sit in the C-suite, right? For the major companies in the world. So if that's in your future, if that's your vision, if that's what you're striving for, the Cloud Champion program is for you.
Absolutely. Listen, can't get enough of this conversation, but I think we are approaching the top of the hour here,
Yes.
and
But
We just want to thank. I mean, I personally want to thank everyone who joined us today on the live stream, and we will be disseminating a lot more information on what to expect and what the continuous scoring system is for, familiarizing you with the app, with the content, Kevin's book, the syllables. There is a lot of information. You can always go to our website, menacloud.org. You can actually reach out to my team at info@menacloud, or reach out to me through LinkedIn or Twitter. You could reach out to Kevin. He has this vast network, being a world top cloud influencer and educator. You can always feel free to reach out to us, and we are happy to have you on board the program as certified cloud champions. You guys
yeah,
are the future, and we're just so happy to play a part in that.
so I know you're a little shy there, Omid, but I want to thank you for your vision and your leadership across the entire region. I am proud to be partnered with you and to work with you to deliver value to the governments, the individuals through this program. So I want to say, thank you and have a great rest of your day. Also to the audience.
Appreciate you very much, Kevin. It is such a pleasure to be working with you. I hope everybody a great day ahead as well, and see you.